Alright, welcome to part 2. As you can see, I've got him in a different pose. Yeah, I'm about to reach for the back of my self to reach my other beam saber pose. But yeah, final thoughts on this kit. I'd say if given like a few screws and a ton of more parts, this would have been a low grade master grade kit. Reason being is because it's really stable. Some parts were built inside first, so that's why I get the idea that it's like kind of a master grade. It's very detailed. I like it a lot. I'm gonna actually figure out which 100 scale 00 lineup model kit that I should get next. But like I said, it does have flaws. Almost any model kit, unless it's a master grade or perfect grade, has flaws. The GN swords, long and short, tend to limit posability. I mean, if you can work around it like this pose, I've got both of them on, as you can see, but as you can see, the short one is almost hitting the side of his torso. Any higher or something, then the sword would fall off. Yeah, just like the 144 scale, it does have problems holding there. So unless you really wanted to keep these the GN blade holders there permanently, then plastic cement them on. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems. Let's see, the part on the head. The head is consisted of 3 connected parts: the center and the 2 sides right here. These are the cat ears, I guess you can call them. They are separate parts. They tend to split unless you like connect them right. So I would suggest also plastic cementing them on. Yeah, posability is great, articulation is great, detail is great, this model's great. Like I said, near master grade. Well, yeah, none of this, of course, is possible unless you put some real good effort into your model. So I'm going to show you a few things that require attention for you to make this, for you to make this nice looking model. Let me just put this on the stand so I can get out of the way. Okay, I know parts are gonna fall off. So your basics that you should use: nipper. Can't go wrong with a nipper. You just cut close to the runners, to the gates. Get a clean cut, call it good. Don't use anything cheap, use a nipper with a flat edge. Well, you can be cheap if you can find a flat edge somehow, but make sure it's flat, like so. Next to that, you have the hobby knife. Doesn't have to exactly be a Tamiya part or, a Bandai piece or whatnot. You can just go get yourself an X-Acto knife. This is used to scrape off excess plastics that you missed with the nipper. So these two, very good knives. Very good knife tools. Next to that is sandpaper, which I can't show you right now because I don't remember where I put it. Sandpaper, I recommend using 400 grit if you're gonna get the 3M brand from like hardware stores. There's the Tamiya ones, also use 400 grit. And then for fine ones, use just the finer ones, like maybe 600 or 800, 1000 maybe, if you really want to do some like fine sanding or whatnot. there are the paints I used. Geez, what I put in. Anyway, for the gray, I used flat neutral gray, Tamiya flat neutral gray, and a little bit of Tamiya gloss black to kind of cancel out the grayness. Because if you look at the plastic parts, whenever you get this model kit, the gray isn't exactly glossy. It's slightly flat, slightly glossy, semi-gloss basically. There are Gundam markers. I use this to get to the side vent in the cheek because it's hard for me to do fine painting with a really fine tip brush. Can't even find it. And this one for that white area in the back on top of the GM drive. Comes in handy. These really come in handy. Trust me. Panel lines, I use two different kinds. I use the brush point, which is this one. For panel lines. And the fine point, usually the blue one. Fine point, black or gray, whatever. You use these. Well, I use these for like bigger panel lines. I use the brush point for the tiny panel lines. Of course, paint thinner to thin the paint down because you don't want to actually use paint straight out of the bottle. You kind of want to like thin it a little bit so it runs smoother, and the finishing, you know, texture of the paint isn't so like. Have you ever touched a house wall? It feels like that if you don't thin it. You want to thin the paint. And of course, to cement things together you need Tamiya plastic cement. Or you can use the Mr. Hobby line, but I like Tamiya. There's the extra thin, which is you know, thinner based. And here's your regular cement, which is thicker than extra thin, hence extra thin. You want to use both because not every single part of a model kit is the same. So yeah, use these. I'll tell you another technique of why you use these in another tutorial review. So that's it. Those are the parts I use. That's my final thoughts on Gundam Exia. I would have to thank a shout out. I have to thank Prime92 for good Gundam reviews. Keep them coming. I will try to cover my own Gundams. I will, if it's okay with you, use you as a, not a reference, but you know, reference, but people to refer to models that I talk about that you've reviewed. If that's okay with you, let me know. That's it.